What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this. Okay, you gotta bear with me on this one. Let me give a shout out to my dude Mike. Mike, shout out to you. You know who you are. Mike said to me a few videos ago, Doc, stop calling people idiots. Now, I get it, Mike. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna try my hardest to not do that. See, I went to church on Friday, went to church on Sunday as well. But when I went to church on Friday, Good Friday, the message was talking about how Jesus gave his life for you and for me, right? What are you willing to give to Jesus? Are you willing to give your life to Jesus? Now it's real easy to say yes, that I'm willing to give my life to Jesus, all that stuff. But am I really? Meaning, am I really willing to understand that every single thing that I do, meaning every single thing that I do, I am representing Him? If that's the case, then I should probably stop calling people idiots, even if I don't mean it in a full term. Like, I really don't think you're an idiot because you like a different console than I do. I really don't. But maybe I shouldn't say that. But then, Mike, I dropped the video talking about what it's like to game on a 2K PC. And there's a comment on that video that I pinned. I pinned the comment. I had to pin it. And damn it, Mike, I want to use the word. I want to call this guy that. Mike, I want to call him. But I'm not going to. Instead, this is the rebuttal video to that. Essentially, the gentleman said that my video saying what I learned from playing on a $2,000 PC proves that PC gamers have been lying and have been all cap. And he goes on this long soliloquy of things that he himself in his mind thought were correct. I'm going to try to remember all of them. I know I'm not. You could go ahead and read the comments. It's got like 20 replies because other people are destroying him as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a different approach. Mike, you're going to be proud of me. This video is what I have learned from gaming on a $900 PC. Because you see, I think people took that what I learned from a $2,000 PC meant that a $900 PC was bad. It's not that it was bad. It wasn't bad at all. It's that a $2,000 PC obviously should be better than a $900 PC. But I'm going to tell you what I learned from a $900 PC. Okay, so here we go. When I switched over and started gaming on PC, and I was gaming on this $900 PC for about a year. In no particular order, these are things that I learned. Okay, number one, games do look better on PC than they do on console. I don't know what exact settings consoles run at, any game, nothing like that, but I did play a lot of the same games. The best example that I could give you is that when I played Forza Motorsport on my Xbox Series X, I was not impressed by that game. I was actually under impressed. I thought Forza Motorsport was going to look way better than Forza Horizon 5. However, when I played Forza Motorsport on the Xbox Series X, I was not impressed. When I got my $900 PC and I was playing Forza Motorsport on my $900 PC, it ended up being my most played game of last year by a huge margin. The game looked phenomenal, and I wasn't even maxing out the game. So I know for a fact games look better on PC overall. I'm willing to bet games look better on PC, probably even at medium, than they do on console. I'm willing to bet a lot of these consoles are using low to medium settings, a few things maybe on high, but for the most part, they're probably running low to medium settings, okay? However, on PC, games just looked better. And that went from an array of games. Like everything I threw on this PC, I would argue looked better, okay? Days Gone for sure. Days Gone for sure looked better on my PC than it did on the Xbox, or than it did on the PlayStation. Okay, but you don't have to take my word for it. I'm letting you know what I learned from a $900 PC. So that's number one. Games look better on the $900 PC. Number one. Number two, something else that I learned gaming on a $900 PC. I was not locked to whatever the developer wanted. Meaning, if I wanted to play a game at higher FPS, I had full control of that, of how high I could go. Okay, because all I would have to do is lower a few settings here and there to get to that FPS that I wanted for the most part. Very seldom did I reach a game that wouldn't get me the FPS that I wanted. Okay. So again, very seldom did I reach that. So again, not locked to whatever the developer wanted. Okay. Number two, I learned that I did not have to pay to play online. That's to include games that you have to pay for that are on PlayStation. So I'll give you an example. Helldivers 2. I have Helldivers 2 on PC, and I also have Helldivers 2 on PlayStation. Okay. On the PS5, you have to pay. If you want the full experience of Helldivers 2, okay, you have to pay to be able to play online. Not only do you have to buy the game, but then you also have to continuously pay to use that game. Meaning that if somebody owns Helldivers 2 on PlayStation and they decide to no longer pay for the subscription service, that game, that Helldivers 2 game, becomes a dud. There's no point to that game at all. It is the dumbest purchase that you have ever made. Okay, I'm not calling you dumb, I'm calling the purchase dumb, right? On PC, that same exact game, I paid for it once. Actually, I lied, I didn't pay for it. Shout out to BG from Weapon Wheel Podcast. He actually gifted the game to me, right? But you pay for the game once on PC, and then you can play online for free, to include getting PlayStation's trophies if you go ahead and sign in and all that other stuff, right? So listen, I did not have to at all pay to play online on PC. Something else I learned, there is no monthly subscription. Now, this gentleman, for whatever reason, was saying how like there's monthly subscriptions that on PC that are optional, just like they are optional on the console. But he's the one that's actually lying. I don't like the fact that he called PC gamers lying, because he's the one that's actually, maybe he's not lying, he's being deceitful with that. He's being cleverly deceitful, okay? Which is an oxymoron, because if you look at this guy's post, there's not a lot of clever things about. I shouldn't say that either. Does that count, Mike? No, that doesn't count. Listen, he knows my heart. Listen, again, there's plenty of games on PlayStation 5 that, yes, you could play for free without having online, right? However, if you choose that, you have to understand that now you're not getting the full gaming experience of the PS5, meaning there will be games that you will not be able to utilize one of their main features because you're not paying for that monthly subscription. That does not make that optional. That makes it optional with conditions. On PC, any subscription that you choose to buy into is truly optional. Everything online is free, okay? So I learned that from PC gaming. The third thing I learned from PC gaming, okay? Games are cheaper by a large margin. Well, a $70 game would cost on console. On PC, there's multiple ways to get that game way cheaper. From legitimate ways to get it cheaper to some a little bit more shady, like getting keys and stuff like that, right? But even if you don't want to go that route, just based on Steam sales, Epic sales, even some of the publishers, it is infinitely way better than buying games on console. Hands down, okay? The only benefit to buying a game on console would be if you buy a physical game that then you could trade back in. But if you're going to go just the digital route, the sales don't even compare, okay? Don't even compare. Now, here's something else that I learned on PC. On console, whether it's Xbox or PlayStation, you have to be part of their subscription service if you want to get the monthly free games. I don't even think Xbox does it anymore. But to get the monthly free games, right? They're not really free because you're part of the subscription. You got to go ahead and subscribe and you get those games, okay? On PC, you will get free games just because. I trust me, I know this one sounds crazy, but Epic Game Store gives you games for free for no reason. I don't even know why they do that. Steam a few days ago was giving Metro Exodus 33, right? Yeah, Metro Exodus 33 out for free. People were DMing me left and right, but I already had the game. Why? I have no idea, but they were doing it, giving out games for free. And that's a common thing, giving out games for free. Here's another one. This one's technically not free, but doesn't really have too much to do with game. I'll give you an example. If you are an Amazon Prime member, raise your hand if you're an Amazon Prime member, okay? And you have a Twitch account, raise your hand if you have a Twitch account, which is free, okay? So Amazon Prime is not free, but if you have Amazon Prime, I do, okay? And you have a Twitch account, you will get games for free from Amazon games, GOG games, and then some like obscure games. And I could show you guys when I go live the games that I've gotten for free on GOG and on Amazon and all that other stuff, and it's ridiculous. Literally free games. So I learned that from gaming on my $900 PC. Okay, and again, it's on a monthly basis. On a monthly basis, just free games. Okay, so I got a collection of free games I never paid for. Okay, so that happens too. Okay, the other thing I learned from gaming on my $900 PC is that the subscription services that you may want to apply for are infinitely better than the subscription services that are on console. It's not even a question. It's infinitely better. Okay, so UB Plus on PC, if you go ahead and get the premium, right, you're gonna get day one access to their AAA games as well, to their main games. Okay, EA Play, same thing. You'll go ahead and get day one access to their big budget games or whatever. Okay, if you get the premium version. Okay, Game Pass is cheaper on PC as well. Okay, and PlayStation Plus technically does work on PC, just a cloud-based service. But just like everything PlayStation, it's garbage. So I wouldn't recommend the PlayStation one at all. You can also get Luna if you want on PC. You can also get GeForce Now on PC. These are things that you cannot get on console as of right now, right? Because GeForce Now on console, I don't think it is. I don't think Luna's on console either. Correct me if I'm wrong. Luna might be. Is Luna on console? Maybe it's not. Let me know though. But all this I have learned from my $900 PC. I also learned that on a $900 PC, I can game with whatever controller I want. I could game with a PlayStation controller, I could game with an Xbox controller, or I could game on a mouse and keyboard. It's whatever I choose, okay? Headsets, same thing. As long as they're Bluetooth headsets, I could use them, or I can connect any headset that I want as well, okay? So that's also nice. Consoles, you can probably use any headset as well. Can you use a PlayStation headset on an Xbox, and can you use an Xbox headset on a PlayStation? I don't know, but on PC you could do it. So it's really nice. Okay. What else did I learn from gaming on a $900 PC? The screen on a $900 PC. I learned that whatever screen I connect to it, I can truly utilize the power of that screen. Meaning this, okay? My $900 PC could play games natively at 4K if they were older games or if there weren't games that were that high demanding, right? Natively at 4K, not with dynamic resolution. I could play games natively at 4K if I chose to use the power of my TV, which was a 4K TV. I could do that if I wanted to. Or I could go ahead and play the game at 1080p on a 1080p monitor that we have, high refresh rates, or I could do both, high refresh rates, high FPS. Again, it was up to me. I learned that from gaming PC. On a gaming PC, I also learned on my $900 gaming PC that the PC could be as loud or as quiet as I want it to be. If I want to go ahead and lock the PC to 60 because I want it to be quiet or I want it to run cooler, I don't want it to draw as much power, I could do all of that in the AMD Radeon software. Shout out to the Turk who showed me how to do all this. And I could literally lower fan speeds, I could lower power draw, I could lower all kinds of stuff. I learned all this from gaming on a $900 PC, okay? The last but not least thing that I learned from gaming on a $900 PC is the fact that one box can play everything. And this is where I need everyone in the comments to be smarter than other people in the comments here. I'm not going to call anybody an idiot, but I want you to see this. Right now, the PlayStation fan base is extremely happy that their box looks like it's the one box that's going to be able to play everything, meaning Xbox is putting their games over there. Well, let me tell you this. The same thing that Xbox has been doing with PlayStation has been doing with PC. And Xbox has been doing that with PC. So what I learned was gaming on a $900 PC is that I could go ahead and play Helldivers literally from 1 second to the next. Go ahead and play Halo. Turn around, go ahead and play Spider-Man. Go ahead, turn around and play Hellblade. Go ahead, turn around and play Forza Motorsport. Go ahead, turn around and play Horizon Zero Dawn. Like literally, my library consists of PlayStation and Xbox games all on one box, and I learned that from a $900 PC. So I'm gonna end the video here. A lot of people will say, "Hey, you can't compare a $500 PC to a $500 console. You can't build the price of performance, all that other stuff." And I'm gonna tell you this: from what I've seen, and I'm not a PC guru or anything like that, but from what I've seen, you cannot compare what the $500 consoles are doing to a $500 PC. I don't think you can. I have not seen it. If you gotta spend $600, that's not $500. Shout out to my dude VG Fight School. I know VG Fight School built a PC for like $630, and he says that it rivals a PS5. I have not seen it yet, but still, that's still not $500. So again, and here's the thing, right? If you're going to compete building a PC to a console and you use used parts, you've already lost the argument. Because my argument is going to be you could just buy a used console, right? So I'm being fair here. So console for console, $500 base PS5 to a $500 PC, can't compare it. I think the base PS5 in new games, okay, is going to do better. In old games, though, that's where you got to put a caveat on top, because to this day, that $500 PC is going to be able to run Red Dead Redemption 2 above 30 frames, where on the base PS5 is still locked at 30. So again, one of the first things that I learned, you're not locked to whatever the manufacturer, the publishers want, okay? But for the sake of argument, 500 to 500 doesn't compare, okay? That's okay. I'll give you that again, just for the new games, because even if you want to talk old games, it doesn't compare. But this is what you got to understand. I bought a base PS5 when it dropped, and I bought a Xbox Series X when it dropped, okay? Both of those consoles combined were over $1,000 after taxes, easily. And the PS5 bundle came with like Horizon, like you couldn't just get the base PS5. It came with like a bundle or whatever. But anyways, let's just say $1,000 for both consoles, or $1,000 so that I can have access to both libraries, okay? The PS5 library and the Xbox Series X library, okay? For $900, if we're just talking strictly gaming, okay? I got access to the majority. I want you to understand this. Of PlayStation's library. The majority of PlayStation's library, okay? And the majority of Xbox's library. Because on PC, I can emulate. But again, the majority of PlayStation games, the majority of Xbox games for $900. So, if you were to ask me, is gaming on a $900 PC better than gaming on a console? And that was just a blanket statement without getting into details. I'm going to tell you, heck yes. I said heck, Mike. Heck yes, it's better. Now, if you want to compare one console for console and you want to cherry pick the games, like you cherry pick the game as a console gamer, then sure, you're probably going to find maybe one or two games that might run better on your console than my gaming PC. But when you look at the overall benefit of gaming on PC, is not even close. And don't you dare go back to the PS3 and Xbox 360 era of games, because those will definitely get destroyed by a $500 PC, let alone a $900 PC. So yes, gaming on a $900 PC is better than gaming on both consoles. DocDog1985, there's levels to this. I tried to do this as nice as I could, because the stuff that he was talking about was ridiculous. He was talking about saying that I got to tinker with settings, and he's got a PS5 Pro. He thinks that because PlayStation is giving him presets that he's not tinkering with settings, as if PC doesn't have presets. Again, Mike, I don't want to say the word, but this is literally the definition of you have presets on PC. So the question is, so now because I have even more options is worse? You see how that doesn't make sense? That doesn't make sense. PlayStation gives them less options and they think it's better. It's literally a shout out to my dude Sabravia. It's mental. It's mental. I don't know, is mental a bad word? It's not, right? It's not. Anyways, listen, I'm going to leave the video there. Dog1985. There's levels to this. What I've learned from gaming on a $900 PC. I think I did good. I think I represented Jesus. I wasn't too harsh, right? I left a pinned comment in my last video. If you guys want to go talk trash to him, do whatever you want. We out. Peace.